Alright, I'm at work finally, and I had a little paperwork to go through and take care of, see where I'm at budget wise and what the plan is for today. Time's getting a little closer, and I need to make a choice if I'm going to keep these Impalas or not. And I like the big fast car, but I think I'm going to end up getting rid of these ones. So I needed to check my balance sheets and see if I'm still within budget or what I got going on here. So the thing that's going to suck the most is I'm going to sell these two cars as is. I'm going to walk into the junkyard and there's going to be a third one sitting there. And it's just going to piss me off. And it might, it's bound to happen. Let's just call it what it is. So, anyway, let me hop into the office over there and I'll show you some spreadsheets. Yeah, I know my office desk space is a mess. Get over it. I mean, it's a shop, man. We work around here. We make cars. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, I'm looking over my spreadsheet here, and just in the 5 cars that I own, the Chrysler 300 out there cost me 21 grand. The 2 Impalas, 4,200 and 3,700. And then the 2 Buick Rivieras, I got 15 grand in one and 7 grand in the other. That's just over 51 grand. 144 to be exact, roughly. And that's what I spent on the cars to get them. And then, I got I got 84 grand in my pocket yet. I mean, and I have been buying some parts. I do have some stored up for some performance parts for these cars, which cost me just over 4 grand. So you do the math, and it ends up 139.6. So let's just call it almost 140 grand, right? So that means I got 10 grand just into buying the benches and this wonderful English wheel, which I haven't even used yet, but I'm sure I can slide some metal in and out from in there and work some of them fenders to be better. Yeah, and then you might be wondering how I got 5 cars out there and the motor sitting here. Well, here's part of the I work at a junkyard deal, right? Some of you may know I do not buy a car unless there's a profit to be had to start with, right? I mean, let's not count them out there because them were exactly what I'm at. But to get a motor, and no, there's no bottom end under it, and it's missing some parts, and yeah, I had to throw a couple of them on there myself, like fuel filter and some other bits. But how do I get a motor? Let's say I buy a $5,000 car, that's worth about 6, 7 grand, right? So I buy the car, I bring it home, I got an automatic profit to start with. Well, if the motor's like this, where it's complete with both heads, you're damn right I'm going to steal it because the rockers alone are worth it. And then you start talking about the rod caps and the crankshaft bearings, and let alone just about anything on here that's good enough to run. You know, that's a lot of money. And now that I got repair benches and tools and skills to actually work on them, I can repair this stuff if I want to. Honestly, I haven't yet, but I know how to now. So, but here's the deal: when I went to the barn, I got to inspecting the cars, and that's how I got my level up to 15 from 9. So let's call it 6 days worth of work, right? That means I got 8 days to get these cars done within 2 weeks, roughly. Let's call this days. Don't hold me too tight to that because I might fuck that up. But in order to get the experience, you gotta inspect the cars, because that's just kind of how you do it. So I'm in the barn, I'm inspecting some cars, and I'm finding some that are rolling between high 40s and low 70s. I'm like, yeah, there's some good parts in here, right? So I buy the car. That's how I get 70s and 60s, 49s and 52s and 6s and all these wonderful numbers, right? You ain't got to buy brand new when you can buy a car that's worth quite a bit. And as you can see, I went and I bought all these brand new performance parts, and again, here's from the last car I took apart. I wanted all the bushings so that I made sure I had good bushings and rod caps. Yeah, I stole them out from under it because it didn't have an oil pan on it. And fair game to me. But it had a beautiful valve cover and a decent exhaust manifold. But it had 4 racing slicks, 65s and 70s, and I'm like, yeah, definitely, yeah. Racing slicks, that'll save me big bucks. So when I sold the car, it was, I don't know, I think it was like 1,400 behind profit, out of pocket. But I have all these parts that I no longer have to pay for. So I damn straight, man. Some of them are even on here, I think. Oh yeah, definitely the air cleaner for sure. I know that much. The radiator, some of the fuses and things like that. But this one over here, I had a motor in there. I say had because I had. But as you can see, I got it all painted up nice and black. Got some shiny new parts on it, but you can see it's still not perfect. It's a hell of a lot better than it has been. I can tell you that when I got it. But yeah, so I buy piece of shit cars that have great freaking parts on them, steal what I need off of it, maybe throw some junk on there so I don't lose out too bad. You know, if I can buy a car that has $500 to $1,000 profit on it, I'm gonna steal what I can off of it, get it to where there's like no profit or less than $50 profit, sometimes $100 loss or better, give or take. But when I got these tires, I was like, I'm just stealing the tires. You can keep everything else. I want the tires. And then I decided to take all the bushings and saw rod caps and stuff. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do that. But inevitably, I'm gonna sell off these rims. I just want the tires. 17-inch rims. I got a 15 and a 17. I wasn't sure if I really wanted this style or not. But as I've been going through the junkyard, I find a few rims here and there that are decent or something, like these came off of a different car. And if you remember, there was no tires on this side. In order for it to sit still, I had to put two on front and two on back. So pulled this tire, put it over there, and then put these two on the front. So yeah, still what works, man. Doesn't cost me hardly anything. And honestly, I could do this whole challenge minus buying a car, which is still possible to over profit because the game don't really care about anything. It just wants to keep throwing you money for profit. But that's why we throw these challenges out here to make it difficult, to add that spice to the thing. Let's see. I think this was the cheaper one, right? Yeah, this one cost me 7 grand, and I already got $100 profit into it. Well, I got a shit ton of fucking profit into it, double my money's worth actually, because of body panels and the motor and all the other parts. And this one over here paid 15, almost 15 two. Got $1,500 worth of parts profit into it already. You know, so you buy a car, it's missing one piece, you put a part on it, and it's worth more than you paid for it. So it's kind of ridiculous. But like this one, I threw a fender or a hood on there, threw a fender on it, found a piece of shit door that I didn't care about, threw a couple of taillights in the trunk, and I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one I threw a bumper on and a back window into. Already I'm looking at profits. I mean, yeah. I mean, I could take $1,900 away from this car and make it a $3,700 car and sell it. I could. I can do the same thing with this one. This one already had a built-in profit too, because I don't think I've done anything to this one. No, I don't think I've done anything to this one because it's an F mill. I was like, no. But what's weird is if you want to buy a car for profit and you don't have the estimated value skill, buy cars with an F mill. For some reason, they cost less than they're worth, and you can sell them for a profit 80% of the time. As you can see, there's no bushings down in there. Yeah, I could easily throw a few bushings in there and add to the profits. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna sell off these two cars, which around 10 grand or so would put me a little over 90, 95 maybe, 94, 7, something like that, whatever it is. But yeah, I'm not feeling these as a movie car because if you think of driving these things, this is kind of what you get to see, and it's square. There's not much there. Yeah, I'm thinking of tossing them back to the curb and having the money for a third one of them. And this guy, I don't really fucking care, man. I'm keeping this one as my own private stash. So that's just me. Oh, and did you notice they got rid of the Easter eggs? That's kind of nice of them. Wasn't done hunting them all, but yeah, they're gone. Hinges work. So anyway, yeah. Between all of this stuff, and now you might be wondering, why do I have performance parts? Well, that's pretty simple. I took the car, had it fully built, had the motor and everything, fluids in it, had it running. Took it out to the track to see if it was capable of doing a minute 50. It cut to a minute 53, and that's on these fucking tires. Yeah, I could put some better tires on it and manage to get there, but I thought, if it's a movie car, well, let's pop the hood, take a look at the motor, and see this beautiful heartbeat sitting under here, right? I mean, this is a motor we're talking about, duh. So I was like, all right, well, let me see what I can pick up for it, and then take these parts off and see if I need them on this one or on the third car, or which that motor in there will work just fine. And it seems I had the hoist over there. I went from a single carb to a two carb because that's an extra carburetor, that's extra fuel, that's extra horsepower. That's just sexier, right? Right. Thought you'd agree. Good. So anyway, I mean, it's a beautiful looking car, and I think it'd be quite fitting for a movie. And again, looking at it from the rear, I mean, it's dirty, it's nasty, it has some of that same square, but it's got design arching there. It's got a window that kind of stands out from the crowd. It's got this little area. I mean, it's compared to them out there, yeah, this rocks. You know, definitely rocks. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw all the motor parts that I have on here again real quick, and then I'll come back and fill you in on a little bit more of how to take 150 grand, try not to make a profit, and try not to spend too much, and still get four cars taken care of for a movie guy within a 2 week time budget. I'll be right back. All right, so I got her put back together. Just still missing a few body panels and things like that, but I think this is going to be our high performance actual movie car. And this one will probably be our close up interior video stuff. And then the third one we'll have to find and see where that goes from there. So, anyway, so imagine this is all pretty and clean and sexy and stuff, which we could go watch it, but we're waiting on that. So, imagine, we pull over the side of the road because it's overheating or something, you pop the hood. Yeah, yeah, that's, yeah, that's what we're talking about. A little bit of sex appeal. Can't really get a good angle on it, but yeah, I asked the boys in the paint shop if they could paint the air cleaner stuff. And they said, yeah, we could do that. So we got this nice, sexy, high performance motor. Oh, and if you ever want the biggest bang for buck, $1,800 is a big chunk of money for a transmission, minus the cost of selling the junk one, whatever, it don't matter. But this by far, just the ability to tune the gears to your desire, is how you're going to get around a track faster than just about any one of these parts in the motor, other than the tires. You're going to need tires to be able to handle whatever power you put through this monster, because this is definitely where the power is at for sure. And as you can see, I put in some minimal exhaust parts there. I didn't even bother with the rest of them. Why? I mean, they're all in good condition, so I didn't even put headers on it. Figured these ones are clean enough. Why bother? So got nice heads on it. And a lot of this stuff is from countless days hunting in the barns. Some of it's from recent cars, and like I said, I haven't bothered to repair anything, and I don't really need to. I just need to work my magic and make it happen. So, as far as I know, I believe this one is ready to go. Um, do you see what I see? That's a rear view mirror, right? What in the fuck is that holding on to? So there's just a rear view middle mirror in space holding on to nothing? Yeah, why the fuck do they do that stupid shit? If the window's out, that should be out with it. End of story. That's just whatever. So anyway, we could take this one to the track. I'm pretty sure we can get a 150 with that. And yeah, let's do that before long. But I believe this one is a green car. I do have body panels galore that have been storing up because, I was playing this game before I got to start the movie challenge and have shit tons of freaking parts. So I'm a hoarder. Get over it. Deal with it. Plus, I'm smart enough to know how to make all this shit work. But I'm still within budget, so whatever. Yeah, and this one, I think, runs. No. Well, needs fluids anyway. But I think this one is. No, she's missing a bunch. Yeah, she's missing parts, but that's fine. That's Yeah, we got a window over here. We don't have to worry about that. Good enough. See, that's a 65% part. That would fit on this card just fine. I mean, granted, you don't want all these nicks and dings, but you can call them whatever the fuck you want. I call this character. I mean, how often do you stub your toe and smack your face when you're trying to take a drink without looking? I mean, yeah, come on now, man. Shit freaking happens. What the hell am I on? There we go. Yeah, she definitely needs to be replaced. She's just slightly tweaked. Not bad though. She'll clean up nicely. I don't have to worry about body parts. I can either buy them, repair them, fix them, whatever. It don't matter. Swap them out, you know. So anyway, I'm pretty sure this is the car I am going to do for the movie. So let's just get on with the show and get rid of these. I haven't even bought parts for these other than the few that I did find, because I really wasn't into them, and 3 parts and a couple of trunk and a couple of taillights really didn't really help this thing very much at all. I mean, just over 10 grand for them. I'm back up to 95 out of 150, so I'm 55 grand into this, and I got this sweet daily driver that hasn't given me any problems on the way back and forth to work. So yeah, 55 grand into them 3 cars. So let's head out to the track with this one. We'll set us a lap time, and well, actually no. Let's take it to the dyno first. Yeah, yeah. Man, that mirror bothers me. All right, 330 horsepower because it's a two carb. Two carb. That's a lot of torque out of the gate. And that's a slow curve too, man. It's got a lot of torque. Ooh, not bad. Still under 400. Even if it is 400 horsepower in a 4,000 pound car, it's not bad, man. 10 to 1. This fall off stuff is where the transmission actually makes it go this way instead of that way. Yeah. Shut up, fans. Shut up. And for those of you who don't happen to know how to do the tuning, you come over to the little laptop over here where we got a ECU diagnostics thing. Well, somebody must have been working on something good. Hope they get their asses together. Yeah. So anyway, in here, you can change the final gear ratio, which will definitely change top end and low end, and same with the first gear. Second gear, I usually like to go a little more to the right so it shifts into third a little sooner. Definitely a little sooner on third gear coming out of corners and things like that. It drops the RPM enough so you got more RPM and torque coming out of corners instead of over here where it just bogs to get up to speed. Then it finally fucking rockets off. So, in fourth gear, I mean, 159 miles an hour, we can bring that down to about 147. And then let's add a fifth gear to this thing, which will bring to about 199. No, yeah, that'll work. Let's go about 250. Yeah, that'll work. A little over 200 miles an hour. And see, this is where you're really gonna get in and out of the corners, carry good RPM through the corners, and that will greatly change your lap times. Big time. I mean, it takes a lot of fucking around, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you got to come into this building where this thing being in the middle is really what's fucking shit up in here. And these fans, yeah, I really hate being in that part of the building. Uh-oh, that was not the right one. Be right back. No, yeah. So we did a little switcheroo. Big deal. Yeah. Bloopers in CMS 21. Do they happen? Yeah, often enough. All right. I haven't smashed my finger in the hood though. That's a good thing. So, like I said, I think this one's actually going to be our beauty queen. So we're going to take it to the track as is because we are racing rubbish. So I'll see you there. Yeah. Okay, Mary, you just hang out in there, man. Yeah, I can tell the tires are definitely going to be an issue. But we're well over 100 miles an hour, so that bodes well for a 150 lap, no problem. If we can handle the car. She is a boat. I'll give her that. And she's a fast boat. Usually 114 on any given lap is a 2-minute lap, so we're looking at a 158, 159 already. But she just will not turn. I'm not even on the throttle and she would not turn. Oh, that's just funny as hell right there. We may have to see what's up with that. Yeah, see how she sounds like she's got torque, but she's not got the RPM to go with it? You can adjust that. So I didn't even make it through that big corner. We still got a 157. Yeah, you got shit in your pants too, man. Hard on the brakes. I love the way she drifts, though. It's gonna be fun getting cinematic shots with, that's for sure. Turn, turn. Gonna have to get a couple of my buddies to come out and do some cinematography camera work. That was gas brake, gas brake, gas brake, gas brake. But I made it through the corner, and we're rolling 130 already, so we should be plenty good. See, that's RPM. Ooh, that was 150. Yeah, a 153. And I wish it wouldn't smack the wall like that. Got enough freaking damage on it. Alright, a 153.7. We can easily pull that off with the tires, so I'll see you back at the shop. Alright, so we're back here at the shop with the old hot rod. And, yeah, tires. I have this set. They are slick, so I'm going to throw these junkers on there and then head back to the track, and I'll run a couple of laps or a lap or so, and we'll get back to this, and I'll be right back. Well, she definitely has grip. She really turns in the corners. And I dove way too hard into that corner. 104, so we're already 10 seconds under, so that's a 150 lap, pretty quick and easy, just like that. Look at that, holding 106 coming out of that corner. That's tires. Purely tires. And this is just the dead stop lap. Yeah. Can we do 140? 140 in one lap. And that's all because of slicks. So take your 150 and say, yeah, we can do that. No problem. No, she might not do burnouts, but she's a badass.